Visayas is one of the Philippines' three main islands, along with Mindanao and Luzon. It is situated in the center of the Philippines archipelago, the country's primary fishing region, also known as the Visayan Sea. It is a major source of food, income, and livelihood for 22 municipalities in the four provinces surrounding it. However, overfishing and degradation have been threatening the productivity of the Visayan Sea for many years. The establishment of closed season for the period November 15 to February 15 annually is one of the key initiatives in the conservation of sardines, mackerel, and herring found rich in the Visayan Sea. Started in 1939, the closed season policy underwent a number of revisions and suspensions and was strictly implemented starting 2012. The fishing closure, however, has both positive and negative impact on the livelihood of those dependent on the fishery.
The Visayan Sea covers about 10,000 kilometers squared and is bounded by 22 municipalities across Iloilo, Negros Occidental, Masbate, and Cebu. It is relatively shallow with water depths of 40 meters and is divided into municipal and commercial waters.
While there are regulations that separate the fishing ground for commercial and municipal fisheries, commercial fishers continue to operate in municipal waters and significantly extract fishery and other aquatic resources in the area. The Visayan Sea, well known for sardines, herrings, and mackerel, contributes 10 to 13% of the national fish production. The sharp decline of 24% in the catch volume of sardines and mackerel from 600 metric tons in 2010 to 472 metric tons in 2011 triggered the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources to strictly implement the closed season for sardines, mackerels, and herrings in portion of the Visayan Sea and adjoining waters in a portion of Capiz Waters and Guimaras Strait.
Impacts on income of fishers, traders, and processors. To determine the impact, the study conducted a financial assessment of the policy on the revenue generated on the income of the fishers, traders, and processors involved in sardine fishery. Nonetheless, the study looked at the pattern of sardine, herring, and mackerel production in the Visayan Sea before and after the policy's rigorous enforcement, especially the four main species tamban, bulao, haul-haul, and tuloy are taken into account in the study. According to the findings, the average volume of sardines and mackerels caught in 2015 was significantly lower than in 2011. In particular, in 2015, the calculated mean catch was 37.5% lower than in 2011. In 2015, the net income of the commercial boat captain and the crew was less than 45.9% and 42.6% respectively, when compared to the net income in 2011. Similarly, the net income of municipal boat captain and crew decreased by 32.8% and 48.7% respectively. Even after adjusting for the natural rate of inflation of 12.21%, a similar trend was observed in the comparative result of fishers' real net income in 2011 versus 2015. The mean net income of fishers interviewed across the municipalities covered by the study also showed a significant decline. In the case of processors, both net income and real net income decreased significantly between 2011 and 2015. Estimates show a 28.7% drop in average net income in 2015 compared to 2011. And lastly, for the traders, the increase in selling price for the traders allowed them to preserve their net income each cycle despite the large drop in the number of sardines traded. However, as the natural inflation rate from 2011 to 2015 negated the apparent price increase, there was an observed decline in real net income.
The closed fishing season might be one of the most effective laws that the government has implemented if it is implemented properly by the officials. However, the said policy has a lot of lapses, and closed fishing season was somehow understudied. Due to these factors, the closed fishing season has not been shown to have any positive effects. The first problem is that the policy lacks accuracy, precision, and clarity because it omits key goals and objectives. Issues with execution and enforcement because the closed fishing season is poorly enforced and its implementation is highly unstable. And lastly, because the current system is ill-equipped to handle the difficulties posed by the natural and social system of fishery. Issues of low governance are negatively affecting implementation. Correspondingly, there was a lack of communication and differing viewpoints among scientists, fisheries manager like local and BFAR, and fishermen.
There are two laws that is related to seasonal closed fishing in the Visayan Sea. First, the Department of Fisheries Act, and the second, the Republic Act number 8550 or the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1988.
The first law was introduced by Senator Loren Legarda entitled Department of Fisheries Act that limits the access to the country's fisheries resources to protect and conserve the country's fishery and aquatic resources inland, coastal, and marine in the exclusive economic zone and in the waters within its territorial seas. To accelerate the integrated development of the fishery industry through the rationalization of state policies and programs, improvement of the industry's productivity, and the provision of support services to small and subsistence fisher folks, including adequate financing, appropriate research, production, and marketing services. The second law is the Republic Act number 8550 or the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. An act providing for the development, management, and conservation of the fisheries and aquatic resources, integrating all laws pertinent thereto and for other purposes. It has the following objectives. First, conservation, protection, and sustained management of the country's fishery and aquatic resources. Second, poverty alleviation and the provision of supplementary livelihood among municipal fisherfolk. Third, improvement of productivity of aquaculture within ecological limits. Fourth, optimal utilization of offshore and deep sea resources. And lastly, upgrading of post-harvest technology.
Over the past few years, the numbers of species of fish and other natural resources in the oceans are slowly declining because of various reasons. Example, illegal fishing, exploitation, and overharvest. This law aims to preserve and protect the natural resources in a very efficient way without fully compromising the needs of the people.